Americans work more hours than any other wealthy nation on earth. More than Japan, more than Germany, more than France. And the median American has $8,000 saved. Not per year, total. You have been showing up since you were 16 years old. Every job you have ever had, you were the one who stayed late, covered the shifts, never made it someone else's problem. $8,000. That is what a lifetime of that gets you. They needed you to believe that working harder was the answer, not because they were evil, but because they believed it too. Nobody ever showed any of you the numbers, and this video is what they never wanted you to find out. You have been on a treadmill your entire working life, moving, exhausted, and going nowhere. The cruelest part is not that the treadmill exists, but that you were told the treadmill was the path. Work hard, get promoted, save what is left, and repeat. Your father said it, and his father said it before him. Every adult who sat across from you at a kitchen table and told you to keep your head down and work hard meant every word of it. None of them invented it, and none of them questioned it because they were on the same treadmill, sweating through the same lie. To understand how you got on it, you need to go back about 120 years. At the turn of the 20th century, American industrialists had a problem because they had factories. They needed workers who would show up on time, follow instructions without questioning them, and repeat the same task 8 hours a day without complaint. So they funded a redesign of public education, not secretly or as a conspiracy, but as a documented reality. Andrew Carnegie funded it, and John D. Rockefeller funded it as well. The General Education Board, Rockefeller's organization, published a mission statement in 1906 that said, plainly, they did not intend to produce philosophers or men of learning. They did not want men who might question the present order of things. They intended to produce workers, and they got exactly what they paid for. The model they adopted came directly from Prussia, a system built explicitly to produce obedient soldiers and compliant factory workers. The goal was not to produce independent thinkers. The goal was to produce productive workers. Productive for whom is a question the curriculum did not cover. Think about what you actually learned in 13 years of school. You learned the dates of historical events and how to diagram a sentence. You learned to raise your hand to use the bathroom, sit still for 8 hours, and wait for a bell to tell you when you were allowed to stop. You did not learn how compound interest works, nor did you learn what an index fund is. You did not spend a single afternoon understanding the difference between trading your time for money and making money work for you while you sleep. 13 years passed with 0 classes on wealth, not one. The system was not designed to produce wealthy workers. It was designed to produce reliable ones. That design is still the skeleton of every public school in America today. The treadmill was built before you were born, and you stepped onto it the first day of kindergarten, running ever since. The treadmill has a price tag that is easy to see in the data. Americans work an average of 1,791 hours per year, while Germans work only 1,349 hours. That is 11 extra weeks of your life gone every single year. Picture what 11 weeks feels like. That is the stretch from Memorial Day to Labor Day. That is your entire summer, every single year. On top of that, you are already putting in more hours than your German counterpart. Yet at the end of your career, the median American household has accumulated $192,000 in total wealth. The median German household has $315,000. You gave them your summer every single year for your entire working life, and you have 38% less to show for it. That is not a motivation problem. That is a design problem. Wages and wealth are not the same thing, which is the distinction nobody taught you. Think about the last raise you got. You were relieved and maybe proud. You went home and told someone, and it felt like progress, but it was only progress on a wage. Wages are what you receive for hours worked, while wealth is what accumulates while you are not working. One of those requires your body to show up, but the other one does not care where you are. Every hour you traded for that paycheck was an hour you did not spend understanding how the second thing works. This wasn't because you were lazy, but because nobody ever explained there was a second thing. A curious worker is a distracted worker. Drop how many hours a week you work in the comments. Just the number, because I want to see it. Now run the math on the hours. You work 200 extra hours per year compared to the average German worker. At $25 an hour, that is $5,000 in additional wages. You pay roughly 30% in taxes and keep $3,500. Over 10 years, that is $35,000 in additional wages earned through additional hours of your life. That same $3,500 per year invested in an S&P 500 index fund at the historical average of 10.4% would be $60,000. You worked yourself into the ground for a decade to keep $35,000, but the market would have handed you 60,000 without a single extra hour of your labor. The treadmill did not make you richer. It kept you busy enough that you never ran the number. It is not the size of the gap that should bother you, but the reason for it. Nobody in 13 years of school ever sat you down to explain the two ways to make money. You can trade your time for it, or you can put money somewhere that makes more money without requiring your time. One of those compounds while the other has a ceiling. You were only ever taught the one with the ceiling, so every year you worked harder, you only moved the ceiling a little. An extra $3 an hour here or a promotion there feels like a raise until you hold it next to inflation. Spoiler alert, it was not a raise. You have been incrementally raising the ceiling on a machine that was never designed to build you wealth. The treadmill got faster, but the belt stayed in the same place. Now, here is why you stayed on it. Because in American culture, hard work is not just a strategy, it is a moral identity. You were not just taught that working hard produces results. You were taught that working hard makes you a good person. The inversion of that is the trap. If hard work makes you good, then questioning hard work makes you lazy. You know what lazy feels like in this country. It feels like shame. So the belief defends itself against the math. Every time the numbers refuse to reconcile with the hours you have put in, the belief system has an answer ready. It tells you that you did not work hard enough and to work harder because the promotion is coming. So you run faster on the same treadmill, going nowhere faster with impressive speed. There is a second layer that is harder to see, which is the promotion itself. You have been told that working hard enough produces a promotion, and a promotion produces wealth. You have watched people get promoted and you have worked for that goal. But a promotion is still a wage. It is just a higher number on the same treadmill. The man earning 50,000 and the man earning 100,000 are running the same machine. One of them is just running faster, but neither of them stops when they stop working. The promotion did not change the mechanism. It only changed the speed setting. The industry calls this career advancement. Then there is the layer nobody talks about because it is too close to home. You get home at 7, your back hurts, and you pick something up on the way because cooking requires energy you do not have. You sit down and tell yourself you will look at the finances this weekend. You plan to check the 401k balance and the interest rate on the card you have been carrying, but you do not look this weekend because you finally need to catch up on sleep. Monday comes, and the overtime that was supposed to build your savings is the reason you lack the energy to examine them. The treadmill does not just consume your hours, it consumes the hours you would have used to question it. That is not an accident. That is the machine running correctly. The deepest layer is that nobody forced you onto it. You chose it, or what felt like a choice, because stepping off requires admitting what you were taught was incomplete. Accepting this means the 12 years of extra hours were not a down payment on a future, but movement on a belt that went nowhere. That is not comfortable, so most people go back to work while the treadmill hums. They call it ambition. This channel exists to show you the mechanics before you need them. So if that matters to you, subscribe. Imagine you are 35 years old and have worked hard for 12 years. You have never called in sick when you did not have to and never left early. You have taken on extra work because that is who you are. Right now, you have roughly $8,000 saved, a truck payment, and a credit card balance. You contribute to a 401k because HR told you to, but you haven't looked at the balance in months because the number never moves like the hours do. In those 12 years, you have worked approximately 21,500 hours. At the end of it, you have $8,000. That is 37 cents per hour of saved wealth. Now run it the other way. If you had taken $300 per month and put it in an S&P 500 index fund starting 12 years ago, you would have approximately $73,000 today. That is in addition to whatever else you managed to save. $73,000 in an account required none of those 21,500 hours. The treadmill gave you a paycheck and the identity of someone who works hard, but it did not give you the wealth. It was not designed to. You were handed a system built to make you a reliable worker, and it worked exactly as designed. Not for you, but for the output it was built to produce.